She's England's go-to wicket-keeper now after being Sarah Taylor's understudy for a long time. For someone who's always batted in the top order, she's getting used to batting in the middle order for England. In this edition of Beyond the Boundary, we chat with England's wicket-keeper batter, Amy Jones. How's life in bio bubble in New Zealand been so far?
Yeah, it's been brilliant. Obviously, we had our 2-week quarantine where we were lucky enough to be able to get out and train a bit in little bubbles. So that made that a lot easier. And then now that we're like out and about, it's brilliant to sort of have that freedom, which we've obviously not had back at home. So yeah, everyone's loving it really, and yeah, very grateful to be out here.
The scenes are an added bonus, isn't it, after coming out of quarantine and lockdown? But tell me, it's the 50-over format. That's what England are going to play first, 3 ODIs against New Zealand. It's been a long while since you played 50 overs cricket. How's the body adapting? How are you adapting to that?
Yeah, it has been. I think it's been over a year since we played before these 2 warm-up games we've obviously just had. So I think it does take a bit of getting used to. I think in the warm-up games we played some good cricket, but we didn't really sort of, I guess, execute our skills for a long enough period of time. So which is obviously the biggest challenge with 50-over cricket. So I think hopefully now we're ready to go into the first ODI, having like brushed off a few cobwebs, I guess, in those games. But yeah, I think it's just important that we go out there and sort of, I guess, as a batting unit, just look to perform well for long periods of time and take responsibility, I guess.
Interesting you mentioned the warm-up games. Any specific learnings about your game? Did you kind of discover anything in these two games? Because as I said, long time since you played 50-over format. Last was the Rachel Hay Hopling Trophy. So anything that you kind of learned about the game, the team, etc. in these 2 games?
I think just a really small thing, just around obviously the difference between T20 cricket and I think as a batting side, we like to score quickly, and we've got some like aggressive batters right from the top down. So I guess a big thing for us is just batting for long periods of time and getting back into the groove of 50 over, playing a bit of low risk cricket, and then just sort of obviously cashing in on our strengths. We don't want to be missing out on, our boundary balls, but I guess just, yeah, like I said, just taking a little less risk and extending partnerships and things will be key for us.
Another thing when it comes to ODIs for England is this is going to be the first time you people are going to play under Lisa Keightley as an ODI unit. She took over last year. You played T20I. So what's that been like in terms of planning, preparation, strategies, etc.?
Yeah, I think it's obviously again like a new thing for us as a whole squad, including Lisa. So I think we've had like some tactical meetings and things, and one of the big things she told us through the T20s was that she wanted us to throw the first punch, and I think that will be exactly the same in the ODIs. And she wants us to play freely and be attacking and not wait to react. So I think there'll definitely be some similarities, which is cool, and it's exciting as a player to know that you're back to go out and express yourself, and then I guess it's just down to us then to use our experience to win games.
Like let's come to your personal aspect, the wicket keeping, the batting. How are you in that sense? In the sense, how are you kind of adapting to adapting probably might be the wrong word, because it's been a while since Sarah Taylor has retired. You are the number 1 wicket-keeper batter. So how's that been? Has it freed you up from expectations or having to fight for a spot?
Yeah, I think it's been great to sort of just know that I'm first choice at the moment, and that's obviously a really nice feeling, and knowing that I can sort of make that role my own, and I guess growing confidence because of that, having a little bit of security, I guess, at the moment. I think has helped my batting as well, and sort of having a consistent role in the side takes a bit of pressure off, really. It's obviously quite tricky being in and out of a team, and sometimes when you get the chance it kind of feels like, oh, like everything's riding on one game. And so I think it's nice to, as I said, have that consistency and just sort of relax, and I think it's definitely freed me up a bit.
And like Sarah Taylor has also talked about this, even your fielding coach, that you are the current best wicket keeper in the English setup. So how does that like, I mean, does it put any additional pressure on you, or is it kind of something that you have kind of grown used to, and what's that like?
I think it's just a good thing, really. Like it's something that gives me a lot of confidence. It's brilliant having Michael Bates on tour now. Like being able to work consistently with him has helped my game develop so well, I think, in that space of time. So I think it's just exciting. We've obviously got Lauren and Tammy, who are really good wicket keepers, like in their own right. So it's great to have three in the squad. Because it's nice to train together and learn from each other. So that's brilliant as well.
Talking about batting, we saw you bat at 5 in the first 2 warm-ups. Is that your role? Is that going to be your spot for batting in ODIs? And is that also where you would like to bat, or you would like to bat at the top?
I think it's looking like I'll bat in the middle, which I think when I first dropped down there back in Malaysia, I think was the first time, I was disappointed. It wasn't something that I wanted to do. I've sort of always opened domestically, and that was definitely my preference. But I think the more I've played there, and especially in T20, I've been able to contribute to some wins at 5 and had some decent performances. So I think I've definitely warmed to it. I quite like that it's a new challenge, and I think I've still got a long way to prove myself as a good middle order batter in 50 over cricket. So that's something that I'm quite excited to hopefully achieve at the end of this tour.
Lastly, like, we are kind of almost a year apart from, year to go to the World Cup. Is your mind still kind of going on fast forward for that in terms of your cricket, or is it like stay in the present and play the series by series, match by match? What's that scenario like?
Yeah, I think it's really important to stay sort of in the moment, just in life really, but especially cricket. I think it's very easy to get carried away. But yeah, it is very I think I find myself thinking about the World Cup, and I think it's great to have that there as a sort of short-term like motivator. Just seeing, we kind of speak about this being a journey to then, and this is the start of our journey to that 50 over World Cup, which I think is great because it makes every game is important, but it just kind of, it's a bit more emphasis, I guess, if you're working towards something that's not too far away. But yeah, I think as a group, it's really important that when we go out and play on Tuesday, that's all we'll be thinking about then, and just take each game as it comes. Until the World Cup arrives.
All right then. Thank you for your time. Go well in the series against New Zealand, Amy.
Thank you very much.